And welcome back to Sack to the Future. It is the 1971 NFC Championship game. The high-flying Dallas Cowboys are hosting the defensive-minded Minnesota Vikings. Now in the AFC Championship, we saw the Dolphins fail to make it to the Super Bowl. So we will not have the 1971 Super Bowl VI rematch of Cowboys-Dolphins, but we do still have a chance for the real-life 71 Cowboys to win the Sack to the Future championship, which would still be a first in Sack to the Future history. There they are. There the Cowboys come in. Each team has just one injury. The Vikings will be without receiver Denson, and the Cowboys will be playing without their outside linebacker Chuck Howley. So mostly healthy. Both teams mostly healthy. The Cowboys again have dominated, as you've seen, because the Cowboys have every game presented here as one of the prime four of Sack to the Future. You've seen every game. You have seen the Cowboys dominate most of those games. I think less than a handful, maybe three, that were not dominant. And one of those, of course, they did lose to the Eagles, but they were dominant in the playoffs last week. And the Vikings are hoping to at least keep it close and make this entertaining for you. Who will join the Houston Oilers? There you see Oilers won 23-3, a big surprise to most, but the Oilers did have the better record, so I guess we shouldn't have been as surprised as we were. But who is going to join the Oilers in the Super Bowl? Will it be the Vikings? If so, that would be their first ever trip to the Sack to the Future Super Bowl. Or will it be the Cowboys, the team who actually won the first Sack to the Future Bowl back in 1960? Cowboys get the ball first. Good return out across the 30-yard line. So let's take a look at the Cowboys quarterback, Roger the Dodger Staubach. He has been insane. 21 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, over 3,300 yards. And you see a completion percentage of nearly or around 67%. Just fabulous season, by far the best of the league. The Vikings' strength is their defense, in particular the defensive line. So that is who will try to stop these guys. Neely, Nyland, Manders, Nye, and Wright, probably the best line in football. Hill and Thomas are the backs. Hayes and Allworth, the receivers. Mike Ditka's the tight end. Again, you've seen every Cowboys game. You probably know that by now, but they're so good that we like to announce it every single week. Staubach, quick drop, drops back a little bit further, in trouble, and down he goes. And that is a man that's up there for MVP. He's top 3 in MVP voting, and the heart and soul of the Vikings defense. Alan Page with a sack, and that's what the Vikings need to do. They need to get sacks on Staubach, make his life a mess. Otherwise, if he gets time, he does a lot more dangerous things than that. But in that one, he just got the ball out of his hands to Reeves. Reeves did the rest, got the first down. But if they let Staubach have time with Allworth and Hayes and Ditka and the guy at the backside of the backfield, he's just going to, even Richardson, he's going to just pile up yards. So the Vikings really need to put pressure on Staubach, as well as stopping the run. They don't want to get run over either. It's a handoff to Calvin Hill, and he gets nothing. This Viking defense is capable of causing problems. As good as the offense is, this is about the best defense that they have faced all year. The issue is the Cowboys also have a really good defense, so it's going to be hard to imagine the Vikings keeping up with them. So extra pressure on the Vikings defense. They've got to keep the Cowboys under 20, which has been pretty much impossible this year. Reeves picks up 12 yards on the run, so Dan Reeves has already had 2 different plays of over 10 yards, one through the air, one on the ground. 3rd and 1. Cowboys come out with an extra tight end. Handoff to Calvin Hill. He spins away from one tackler, but Schrockman cleans up the mess and brings him down short of the first down. Let's see, decision time now for Tom Landry. The best team in football will punt. So not taking any, unless it's a fake. I wouldn't think a 15-1 team would have to resort to fakes and things of that nature, but you never know. It was a poor punt, making them think maybe they should have just gone for it. But now here comes the Vikings quarterback, Gary Quazzo. You see 5 touchdowns to 12 interception, 2,100 yards, a full more than 1,000 less than Staubach, despite only throwing about 8 or 10 less passes. So Vikings passing offense is nowhere near caliber of the Cowboys offense. The running attack is a little bit closer, but still not on par. There's a nice throw to start things off, a big 14-yard completion, but right away we're going to get a challenge. Cowboys can't let the Vikings get any confidence, so they're going to try to challenge this right here. I didn't see that first foot. I think his foot's already down when he has possession, so I think that is a catch. Of course, modern rules, so you get 2 challenges. That is going to stand, so that's going to cost the Cowboys their first time out of the game and one of their 2 challenges. Again, in Sack to the Future, all years are played with the current rules. There's a deep pass downfield, and the receiver had to turn defender on that to make sure Renfro didn't come up with the interception. Here are the offensive players: Alderman, White, Tingelhoff, Sund, and Yari. Pretty good offensive line in their own right. Jones and Osborne will do the running. Grimm and Washington are the receivers, and Stu Voigt, the tight end for the Vikings. Quazzo back to pass again, throws incomplete. So he goes deep and then he goes short, but both are incomplete. Here's the Cowboys defensive line: Cole, Big Bob Lilly, Jethro Pugh, and George Andre across the line. Leroy Jordan in the middle, Dave Edwards, and D.D. Lewis getting the start with the injury to Howley. Cornell Green and Cliff Harris are the safeties. Herb Adderley and Mel Renfro, the fantastic corners. Quazzo, pump fake. Now he fires across the... Cornell Green had it, hit his hands, but could not come up with the interception. Quazzo dodges a bullet there, and he'll be able to go to the sidelines and think about that. You don't want to do those kind of things against the Cowboys. He got lucky there. Here's the punt. Much better punt by the Vikings punter, and actually deadens the ball. A fantastic punt. Ball down at the 5-yard line. And the Cowboys will take over from their own 5 on the second drive. Cowboys, of course, number 1 in passing offense, number 1 in total offense, and top 7 in defense as well. Vikings defensive line: Eller, Page, Larson, and Marshall. Those are the fantastic players. Warwick in the middle, Hilgenberg and Winston, the 2 outside backers. You got Charlie West and Ed Schrockman playing corner. Kraus and Kasuke are the safeties. 2nd and 10. It's a kind of fake the throw and then handoff, an opposite of play action. Draw by Reeves, but the Vikings were not fooled, bringing up a 3rd and 11. Staubach from his own 5 will just turn and hand to Dwayne Thomas, who gets up to the 9-yard line, just getting room for his punter. So these teams feeling each other out. A nice punt by the Vikings kind of helped dictate that less than dangerous drive by the Cowboys. And the Vikings defense has survived 2 Cowboy drives so far. Now they got to try to get some points off it, because the Cowboys are going to score. I mean, I would be completely shocked if the Vikings do something like the Oilers did to the Dolphins and hold them without a touchdown. I just don't think that's possible. But here with great field position at the 45-yard line of Dallas, definitely this is their chance to get a lead. 3 would be nice. Or 3 is mandatory. You can't walk away with 0. Touchdown, of course, would be icing on the cake. Quazzo back to pass. He is going to fire to the sideline, and that's complete. Another nice throw to his left. That's where the yards have come from, both to Grimm, and they're close to getting in field goal range now. Quick handoff to the fullback, puts his head down, and Brown burrows through for 3 yards. Cowboys 15-1. They won last week to get to 16-1. The Vikings come in at 14-4, 12-4 regular season, and they've won 2 playoff games to get to this point. 14-4 is good. 15-3 is better. That's the Oilers. They're already in the Super Bowl. And 16-1, of course, is the best and the team that's still the favorite to win the Super Bowl, despite having to win 2 more times to accomplish it. As far as Madden ratings go, if the Vikings play the Oilers, the Madden overall team ratings has the Vikings as a 5-point favorite over the Oilers. The Cowboys would actually be a double-digit 11-point favorite over the Oilers. So the Oilers in the Super Bowl will again be disrespected by the odds makers. Now the Cowboys defense does another great thing, holding the Vikings without any points despite great field position. But the Vikings punter has his second brilliant punt of the game. And for the second time in a row, the Cowboys will start their drive at or inside their own 5-yard line. Play action pass. Staubach's going to go for the big bit. No. He play action passed just to see if it was open deep. It was not. Came back short. Hit Ditka for a gain of 1.5 yards, maybe 2 yards. Staubach now handoff. Is that Reeves again? Dan Reeves getting a lot of touches here early in the first quarter, and he gets that close to a first down, 3rd and 1. Power formation now for the Cowboys. Turn, handoff to Thomas, and he picks up the first down. So the Cowboys get a first down. They're now out to the 17-yard line. That gives them more options. Minnesota Vikings and Dallas Cowboys fighting for the right to go to the sack to the future Super Bowl. There's another handoff to Thomas and another nice gain right up the middle. 4 carries, 23 yards now. Thomas, I should have checked before the game. I believe Thomas did end up winning the rushing title for the Cowboys. The Cowboys were not the number 1 rushing offense, but they were top 6, and nobody... It's hard to remember that because their passing offense is so dangerous and so good that you forget if the game dictates the better running team wins the game, they still win that game most of the time. The Rams, the only team that had separation between themselves and the Cowboys as far as team running goes, and they, of course, are out of it as the Vikings beat them in the wild card round. 3rd and 9, big play for both teams. Vikings defense would love another stop. Staubach in trouble, and down he goes. That's Alan Page's 2nd sack of the game. So Page definitely answering the call for his defensive line to control this sensational offense that the Cowboys bring. And they are doing a good job so far between the defense of the Vikings and the punting. So far, the Cowboys' offense has been bottled up. But on the other side of the ball, you have the Vikings with 0 points, and that's the fear. You thought the Vikings' defense is capable of doing this at times. The Cowboys are going to score, but the Vikings' defense can make it hard. It's just, can their offense put any matter of, keeping it close for a while, but ultimately losing because you can't put points on the board. See, rushing yards, Cowboys are already over 50 yards on the ground. There's a handoff, and the Cowboys defense all over it. It's on the ground. And there's only 1 play left in the first quarter. Will they even snap it? They will not. So the first quarter comes to an end. The Vikings defense has done its job. They've kept the Cowboys off the scoreboard. Cowboys defense, though, answering just as strong. We have a scoreless first quarter, 3 quarters left to decide who goes to the Super Bowl to play the Houston Oilers. 3rd and 13, Quazzo drops back, Good protection from his offensive line. Fires downfield, and nice catch made. He fired into traffic, but that's all there ever is against this Dallas secondary. You don't get wide open too often. Washington made a heck of a catch right there. See the replay. Causo's got time. Delivers a nice ball and a nice catch. Perfect pass, really. And a good catch. Not a great catch, but good. He didn't have to make a great catch because the ball was placed so well. But there's Bob Lilly imitating Alan Page, of course, with a big sack. Bob Lilly, the significant. This league has a lot of good defensive tackles right now. That's a position we should be celebrating here in 71 Sack to the Future. Bob Lilly, Alan Page. You saw Merlin Olsen in the playoffs earlier. Steelers did not make the playoffs, but Mean Joe Green's another one. They some brilliant defensive tacklers in the league at the moment. There's a throw downfield and complete. The offensive line of the Vikings gave Quazzo a ton of time, and he took advantage. That's Grimm's third catch. He's having some success getting open. And the Vikings are on the Cowboys' side of the field for the second time this game. They had no points last time. See what they can do this time. They pitch it, and the Cowboys' defense all over it. Jones still at negative yardage after 4 carries. George Andre, the first one there. Quazzo back to pass. Fires and incomplete. I think he was off, not on the same page as his receiver, who never turned around, as if he did not know it was going to be a quick pass. Quazzo back to pass again. Good protection. Fires downfield, and there is that Grimm again? Grimm gets open again, and he is killing the Cowboys secondary, which we have not seen a receiver do much this year. I can't even recall one single game where a receiver has had this good of a first half against this Cowboy secondary. But Grimm is getting it done. There's a handoff to Osborne. Oh, it's Adderley. I thought Osborne was coming up hurting, but it's Adderley who took the worst of that collision. Herb Adderley. So Grimm has already been able to work the Dallas secondary better than most, and now Adderley's going to go out at least for a play with an injury. This could be a developing situation for sure. Jones gets that yard, so he's now got 0 yards on 5 carries. But Quazzo and this offensive line doing a great job of throwing the football. Quazzo going to pass one more time on 3rd and 6, and no time to even think as the Cowboys bring the blitz, and D.T. Lewis gets in there and gets the sack, putting an end to the drive. And the Vikings will settle for a field goal attempt, trying to get the first points of the NFC Championship game. From 35 yards out, it is good. Cox puts it through, and the Vikings take the lead on the Dallas Cowboys 3-0. Cowboys from the 5, across the 20-25, up near the 30-yard line. Good return. And now the Vikings defense has done a phenomenal job thus far. But the Cowboys fans know it's just a matter of time. They're only down by 3. They've already established somewhat of a running attack, but Staubach just hasn't gotten going yet. Staubach's going to pass here on first down. They cover, they double team Page, give him some time to throw, and he delivers a 9-yard pass, bringing up 2nd and inches. There's a handoff to Calvin Hill, who fights forward for the first down. Staubach from the shotgun this time. Looking, firing, complete. Another first down for the Dallas Cowboys. They are now in Minnesota territory for the first time this game. That was Ditka on the receiving end of that bullet. And up to Dan Reeves, and the Vikings not tricked this time. Reeves, 6 carries already for 31 yards, but not much on that one. In fact, he lost a yard. Oilers are in. Will Dallas join them and make it an all-Texas Super Bowl? As expected, or will the Vikings upset the number 1 seed? 3rd and 4. Big play. Cowboys just outside the field goal range. Fires downfield. Wide open is Mike Ditka. And he gets all the way inside the 15-yard line down to the 12. Staubach now starting to heat up 5 of 7 for 66 yards. And the Cowboys have a 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line, already in field goal range now. Turn hand to Thomas. Vikings defense all over that. We're inside of 5 minutes to go in the first half. Cowboys in field goal range, but down by 3. Staubach from the shotgun. He will throw to his left, complete, and Tro breaks the tackle and gets all the way down inside the 2-yard line. We're going to say short of the first down, so it's 3rd and inches from the 2. Some motion there, and Staubach back to pass, throws wide open, touchdown. Allworth in motion. The defender playing way too far off, not sure why. I think maybe the linebacker or defensive end was supposed to drop back to fill in that lane, but it did not happen, so it was one of the easier toss and catches for a touchdown. A rare mistake by this Viking defense, but you knew the Cowboys were going to find a way to put the ball in the end zone, and they do take the lead here in the first half, 7-3. So can the Vikings answer and get this game closer? 7-3 is not a horrible score. So in no situation can they turn the ball over. But if they could get some points, even a field goal, to get it closer, would certainly be appreciated for all of these rooters of the upset. Showing Grimm now some highlights. He's had a very good first half. Let's see if the Cowboys double team Grimm on this drive. Quazzo back to pass. It throws it. Oh, boy. That's Quazzo's 2nd throw that should have been picked off, but the Cowboys defenders have dropped both of them. If those are both caught, this might already be turning into a blowout. But a couple dropped interceptions has kept the game close enough. 3rd and 6. There's just a handoff. I think maybe the coach called that, just wanting to get Quazzo out of there again so he could talk to him on the sidelines. And, that's 2 now. That's 2 that he lucked out of and not throwing interceptions. And he needs to stop giving the Cowboys chances to make the interceptions. All right. Cowboys now. Will they score before the half? The Vikings will get the ball to start the second half, but the Cowboys would like to put points on the board before that happens. 2 minutes to go in the first half. The heavily favored Cowboys up 7-3. Staubach fires downfield. That's complete to Bob Hayes, who makes a catch right on the sideline. Oh, no. They're going to say his foot landed out of bounds. So that, talking about a game of inches, that brings up 3rd and 8 instead of the ball at midfield. But Staubach comes right back and rifles a pass to Richardson in between 2 or 3 purple jerseys. Richardson's first catch of the game. That's a first down for the Cowboys. Staubach, 90 seconds to go. They have 2 timeouts. Remember, they lost one from a failed challenge earlier. Completes underneath to Ditka near midfield. They're going to still let some clock run, not take one of their 2 remaining timeouts. 2nd and 2. Staubach back to pass again. Again, double team on Page. Allows Staubach the time. And he finds Ditka again, and now they will take timeout number 2. So the Cowboys have 1 timeout remaining. They're in Minnesota territory. The Vikings trying to cover with 7 and only rush 4. And now they have Staubach in trouble, and down he goes. It's Carl Eller. Carl Eller gets there and sacks Staubach, and that is going to take some time off the clock now, and the clock starts to become an issue. Staubach fires underneath, complete. Can he get out? He cannot. Richardson makes the catch, does not get out of bounds, though. And so 16, 15, 14, 3rd and 8. Staubach, they have a timeout. They can use the middle of the field complete. Tackle, they'll have to use their timeout here and set up a field goal opportunity. They did not get as far down the field as they wanted. This is still going to be a 50-yarder, but it's not impossible to make from here. Clark has had a good season, but he comes up just short. 50 yards, a lot to ask in 1971, and Clark unable to deliver there. The Vikings line up as if they're going to see how far Quazzo can throw the ball. Let's see if they actually follow through with this. Quazzo gonna launch it deep downfield. All kinds of traffic, and it falls harmlessly to the ground for an incomplete pass. So, the Vikings are still in it. They've got a chance, a puncher's chance, if you will. The Cowboys up 7-3. Cowboys leading in both passing and rushing yards. The Vikings have only 7 rushing yards. But the key stat there, 0 turnovers from either side, despite Quazzo throwing 2 right into the hands of Cowboy defenders. They were unable to hold on for the interception. And that, if the Cowboys somehow don't win this game, that is definitely going to be one of the reasons. But alas, we are at the half. It's 7-3. Cowboys will kick off to the Vikings. 30 more minutes to decide who the NFC champion is. And at this point, we still don't know for sure. The Vikings are only down by 4.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Quazzo got out of that first half without an interception. Let's see if he makes any more poor throws or if he's more careful with the ball. There's a handoff from a power formation, and Jones finally gets the positive yards on the day. 6 carries, 3 yards. Quazzo drops back to pass, double team on Bob Lilly. Allows him enough time to throw underneath, but the Cowboys defense quick tackle. You see Jones has 6 carries for 3 yards, 3 receptions for 0 yards, so 9 touches, but only 3 total yards. Quazzo, pump fake, fires, and he's got that man Grimm again. Grimm has been the star of the Vikings offense, 86 yards. The Vikings have, I believe, well, with sack yards included, I think they have 96, somewhere around 95, 96 total yards. 86 of them are Grimm. Hand off to Jones. That's his best run of the day. 5-yard carry, now has 8 yards. Vikings trying desperately to establish a running game that would really help make this game more competitive. And Quazzo fires to the midfield, and that's caught by Washington. So the Vikings having a decent drive to start the second half here. Just across the midfield marker, handoff, runs away from Lilly, always a good idea. And Jones, with his 2 best runs of the day and back-to-back carries, brings up a 2nd and 1. And now play action pass. Quazzo, he's got time, fires downfield, but incomplete. A lot of Cowboy defenders out there. And now they'll pitch it out. Looks like this one's to Osborne, but a couple of Cowboys there to form a wall. Osborne can't possibly break through and bring up 4th down. And the Vikings are going to go for it. They're not content with just having a decent drive and trying to punt the Cowboys back. They want the first down, and it's dropped. The play call was a good one, and Quazzo's throw was good, but Brown just flat out dropped the ball, and that's as bad as a turnover. It's a turnover on downs, and they had the first down. It's not like the Cowboys defense took it from them. The Vikings had the first down, but it was dropped. So that goes in the category of some of the Cowboys dropped interceptions. We'll say 2-1. And as far as plays that could have been made to change the game and were not made. It's a relatively good field position for the Cowboys to start at. There's a handoff to Thomas. Vikings defense doing a good job of shortening these runs. It's now 3rd and 4. Definitely a manageable 3rd down for Staubach. From the shotgun. He will fire complete to Ditka, but he's short of the first down. He needed 4. He picked up 3. That brings up 4th and 1. Let's see if the Cowboys decide to go for it now. The Cowboys are going to punt. So the Vikings had the ball just on the other side of the 50 and went for it. Did not get it on a dropped pass. The Cowboys decide to go ahead and punt it. And what a punt it is. Wow. It landed inside the 1 yard line. So most of the time that's going to bounce into the end zone for a touchback. But look at this. With the backspin, it bounces inside the 1 and goes straight to the sideline out of the bounds before crossing the goal line. So the Vikings have to start inside their own 1 yard line. It says safety written all over. The Vikings need to do whatever they can to not give up 2 points here. Hand off, and there it is. Yep, the Cowboys could smell it. Bob Lilly, of course, busted through and got to Osborne first. His teammates rallied to help him, and the punter basically just earned the Cowboys 2 points there. So punting, showing how important it is. The Vikings had some good punts early to keep the Cowboys offense from getting off to a fast start. There's the Cowboy punter answering with a devastating punt that directly results into 2 points. And now Staubach comes out again with the ball at his own 36-yard line, and now up 9-3. Quick drop from Staubach. He completes to Bob Hayes. That's Bob Hayes' first catch. He was shut out in the first half. That's Hayes' first catch of the game, and it's good enough for a first down. Play action pass Staubach. This could be the kill shot. Fires over the middle. It's complete to Mike Ditka. And just like that, the Cowboys are inside field goal range, up 9-3. Vikings defense, it's time to make a play because this game is starting to slip away. Hand off to Thomas, breaks a couple tackles, gets down to the 23-yard line. So here's a chance for the Vikings, 3rd and 6, if they can make a big play here and hold them to a field goal attempt. That would keep them in it. Staubach fires, looking for the touchdown. It gets Allworth all the way down to the 2-yard line. Nice throw, nice catch. Cowboys are rolling now. Cowboys are on a roll, and if the Vikings are not able to force some turnovers, it could be over. Thomas, is he in? He's short. He's down inside the 1, but not in. 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Cowboys about to open this game up. Staubach fires, touchdown. And there you go. The Cowboys pick up a safety, get the ball back, put the touchdown on the board, and now they're going to go for 2, up 15-3, trying to make it a full 2-touchdown lead. Staubach, 2 is left. That's complete to Bob Hayes. 2-point conversion is good. And just like that, it was 7-3 a few minutes ago. And just like that, the Cowboys put 10 points on the board, and it is up to a 17-3 lead. And the Vikings offense needs to answer, or this game's going to turn into a blowout. Come on, baby. Let's go. Cowboys are as dominant of a team as we've ever seen in Sack to the Future. And the Oilers, of course, have been right there with the, 63 or 64 Cardinals, as a team that just keeps surprising everyone. And against the odds. So an intriguing matchup for sure. But like I said, the Madden ratings will have the Cowboys. Oh, there's a huge run. Okay. So a nice run there by the Vikings. They don't want me talking about it yet. But just to finish the thought, the Cowboys, again, would be an 11-point favorite if it is Cowboys-Oilers. The Vikings also favored to beat the Oilers in that matchup. So what the Madden ratings are telling you is this is the harder matchup for the Cowboys. If they win this one, they should definitely win the Oilers matchup as well. But there was that Eagles game. I mean, the Cowboys have been favored in every game they've played, and they've won every game they played except for one, which means there is a chance. There's always a chance that the underdog can do it. Grimm over 100 yards. He has done his part to cause the upset. Vikings have run the ball better in the second half, but they desperately need a touchdown. They're getting close to field goal range, but they need more than just points. They need a touchdown to keep this game exciting. Quazzo will sling it out in the flat. Osborne makes the catch and able to stay. He stops his momentum from carrying him out of bounds and picks up a few more yards. That was a nice play. And now on 3rd and 1. They will play action pass, and Quazzo gets rid of it right before getting annihilated. Vikings pick up another first down, so they're doing a great job of answering here. 10 seconds to go in the third quarter. This may be the last play of the quarter. Quazzo back to pass again. He throws, but it's knocked out of the air. So 4 seconds to go. We will have one more play of the third quarter. Vikings driving, but 3 points at this point in the game I don't think is good enough. And Osborne, he runs hard down to the 14-yard line, and that's where the third quarter comes to an end. We've played 3 quarters. There's 15 minutes left to decide. Cowboys have opened up a full 14-point lead, but the Vikings are driving to try to get back into this game. 3rd and 6. Brown in motion. Quazzo handoff to Osborne. They decide to hand off. I wonder if that's because they knew they were going for it on 4th down, or is 3 points enough? They are going to go for the 3. So a little bit of a surprise here, but I guess they just felt like they needed to answer with some points. Cox puts his second field goal through. It's 17-6, but it's looking more and more like the Vikings are going to need to force a turnover, which you kind of figured. The Cowboys team this good, if they don't lose, meaning even if they tie the turnover ratio, they are going to win the game. So the Vikings definitely feel like they have to force a turnover here. Quick throw to Allworth. Nice tackle, though. Nice tension play. Staubach has only missed on 3 passes. He has 3 incompletions and 2 touchdowns. Just another brilliant game by the best quarterback in football. Hand off to Thomas, and nothing there. So the Vikings defense definitely fired up. They've gotten it to a 3rd and 14. And now this would just be a momentum killer. If they give them a first down here, I'm going to say the game is over just because of what it will do to them psychologically. 3rd and 14, they've got to get off the field. They force him to throw underneath, and Reeves unable to handle that. So the Vikings do their job. They get the ball back, and now we'll see if the Vikings offense can put another scoring drive together.
Here we go.
So 12:41 to go. Quazzo and Grimm. Grimm 6 catches, 107 yards. He's had a great game. Vikings have run the ball better in the second half, but it looks like it's going to be on the arm of Quazzo. They're going to come back in this one. Quazzo on the day 14 of 23. 149 yards. And Lilly gets through and gets sack number 2. So Lilly matches Page. The two brilliant defensive tackles going at it, both of them getting 2 sacks here in the game. See the total yards, the Cowboys only have 50 more than the Vikings, so the Vikings have played more competitive than most. Oh, but there's an overthrow, and it's picked off that time. The Cowboys held on to the ball. The third time a Cowboy defender had his hands on the ball, but this time the catch is made. Quazzo living dangerously. Finally gets burned, and that might be the game ender there because the Vikings did choose to go for the field goal and make it on their last drive. They are still alive if they force the Cowboys to get just 3 here. Staubach's going to run, and of course he does the smart thing. You cannot get hurt. You can smell the Super Bowl. You don't want your starting quarterback going down and missing that Super Bowl. And with Thomas, he busts through for a first down. Now the Cowboys are working on the clock, and if they put this in the end zone, it's pretty much over. It might be over anyways, but if the Vikings hold to a field goal, they can at least think that it's not over. Complete underneath, Allworth very close to a first down. 2nd and 1 from the 7-yard line. Quick handoff to Calvin Hill, and he busts through for a first down. Hill has run the ball 4 times for 0 yards, but he did pick up the first down. Handoff to Hill again. There's some positive yards for Hill. And he's down to the 2-yard line. 2nd and goal again. If the Vikings defense has any chance in this one, they must have a goal line stand here. 2nd and goal. Handoff to Thomas. Oh, they're trying to rip the ball out. Carl Eller got there and tried to rip the ball off, but Thomas held on. That's important. Is more important than anything else at this point. A touchdown would probably put the game away, but a fumble might turn this game around. So you got to make sure there's no turnover here. Staubach will just throw it. He was looking for Richardson, but he put it in a position where there's no way it's a turnover. It's either a great catch or incomplete. It did end up being incomplete. So the Vikings defense does their job of holding the Cowboys to a field goal attempt. And they are still alive with the amount of time on the clock and the timeouts remaining. It is certainly possible that they will have 2 drives left. They just need to make sure they get touchdowns on both of those drives. So step 1 of the comeback is a touchdown drive needed here by this Viking offense. If they get that, the intrigue will continue. If they don't, then you got to start getting ready for an all-Texas Super Bowl. Quazzo 14 and 24, 149 yards. 1 interception. That doesn't look bad, but he could have possibly thrown 3. Of course, if he did throw 3, this game would no longer be a question. That was almost an interception right there. The Vikings need a touchdown on this drive or the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl. Quazzo in trouble, and down he goes. There is a flag, probably holding. So even despite the Vikings line holding, the Cowboys get the sack, so that should be declined. The Vikings, actually this game has been very clean. I think that was the first flag of the game here in the 4th quarter. There's a quick throw just to get some of the yards back, but it brings up 4th and 10. Vikings need a play here. Quazzo 4th and 10. They got to double team Lilly because he's been a game wrecker. They don't double team him, but somehow they hold him back, and Quazzo delivers. What a great block on Lilly and the rest of the defensive line to give him time, and Quazzo delivers with a great pass to Washington, and the Vikings are still alive in this championship game. Quazzo back to pass again, fires. Cowboys just all over the receivers now, knowing that there's not enough time for running the ball. The Vikings can still run it here and there, but mostly it's got to be done through the air. There's a nice completion to Brown, and Quazzo has gone over the 200-yard mark. The clock is down under 5 minutes, but the Vikings do have all their timeouts, so the more important than any time issues is getting this ball into the end zone. Plazo, quick drop, throws over the middle. That's complete. And then a broken tackle gets inside the 20, but there is a flag. Oh, he was actually brought down with the face mask, so that's going to help. That's going to stop the clock. That's a free timeout for the Vikings. And it's also going to put the ball at the 8-yard line. So hold on. Hold on. Don't book your ticket yet for the All-Texas Super Bowl as Osborne takes that into the end zone, and the Vikings are finally in the end zone for the first time in this championship game, and it is still a game, folks. The Cowboys used to running up the score in the fourth quarter and just blowing people out, but here we go, 4.5 minutes to go, and the game is still in question. Certainly put my money on the Cowboys still, but it's in question. Usually at this point, the Cowboys are definite winners, and we're just talking nonsense because the game's not exciting, but this game has a chance to have a phenomenal finish. 4.5 minutes to go. Vikings have all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning, so the Cowboys cannot just run out the clock here. They got to play normal offense. Of course, that is not a downside, though. Staubach has only thrown 4 incompletions. The Vikings defense actually really has turned around the rushing defense. The Cowboys were able to run pretty well in the first half, but not so much here in the second half. Staubach's going to go to the air, though, on first down and fire, and it's complete, and there's a missed tackle, and Bob Hayes flies all the way across the 50 down to the 41-yard line. Well, the Viking corner went for the interception. If he got the interception, then, of course, the upset is possible. If he picks this, look at this. Oh, no, I don't know what he was doing. I thought he went for the interception. He did not. He went for the tackle and then didn't make it. So that's just a bad play by West, but the game's not over yet. His teammates can pick him up here. Staubach fires. Oh! Ditka making a heck of a catch, even though Winston's all over him. Ditka now up to 97 yards receiving. A field goal is enough to put this game away. The Vikings really they can't allow this first down to happen. Staubach going to the air again. All aerial assault so far. That's complete, but pushed out of bounds. That will help the Vikings with the clock situation. 36-yard line is still too far. I mean, it's not impossible to make this kick, but it's definitely too far to feel comfortable. Staubach fires and completes to Thomas, and that was a huge play. The Vikings needed to stop the Cowboys on that play. Had they stopped them, it's either a punt or a missed field goal, in my opinion, and the Vikings have a chance, but now the Cowboys are very close to field goal range, and they get to take more time off the clock. Just a fabulous championship quality pass, and then there's another one, followed up by another one. Now they're definitely in field goal range. Staubach has made back-to-back brilliant passes, and the receivers have made the catches too. It's not all Staubach, but what a quarterback he is. They have gone all through the air, pretending the clock is not the important thing. The points are the important thing. If they get any points, the game's pretty much over. And I think they want a touchdown. They just want to prove that the game... They're not used to winning by single digits. So even though a field goal would make it a 10-point lead, I think the Cowboys are driven to put this ball in the end zone. Let's see if they start running it now that we've hit the 2-minute warning. Nope, back to the air again. Staubach fires, and it's a touchdown. Bob Hayes. They wanted to get Bob Hayes a touchdown. He was shut out in the first half. He has come back with a vengeance here in the second half, and that will do it. Cowboys answer the great drive by the Vikings to keep the excitement in the game, and the Cowboys have crushed all hopes of an upset. They are going to go to 17-1 and play the Houston Oilers in Super Bowl. Just got 2 minutes. I mean, the Vikings still have 3 timeouts. I guess I shouldn't say it's so obvious, but onside kicks are almost never recovered. So the Vikings basically need a miracle here. Unless they get, a touchdown without having to take a timeout or recover an onside kick. It's pretty much over. Well, you have 2 choices. You can either go big and to the sidelines, can't take sacks either way. So now they've already started using their timeouts. So now that first strategy is gone. There is no scoring without taking timeouts. Now you use your timeouts and as much time as you can and just get the touchdown with somewhere around 10 seconds to go and put it all on the onside kick. So no flags in the first 3 quarters, but we're now up to 3 or 4 here in the fourth quarter. Ultimately, it doesn't matter. The Vikings played well. They finally gave the Cowboys a game, but in the end, the Cowboys are still going to win this thing by 2 scores, it looks like. 1971 Cowboys. They're 1 win away. If they beat the Oilers, they will be the first team in Sack to the Future history to win the Sack to the Future Super Bowl when, as a recreation, if you will, of a real Super Bowl champion. Vikings have 37 seconds to try to pull off a miracle, and then the Oilers will have 60 minutes to try to stop that from happening. Clauso gets hit, fumbles the ball. Brown picks it up, but he cannot advance it. Vikings have to call timeout. Here it is, 4th and 14. If there's a first they need this miracle conversion to try to set up an even more ridiculous miracle. And there was contact, but it was kind of high. I think it was uncatchable anyways. And that's it. The Cowboys are going to win this game. A couple kneels should do it. Staubach comes out to kneel, and the Cowboys, who have been the best team in football the entire year, certainly deserve to go to the Super Bowl. I, of course, am just rooting against it because if the Cowboys win this Sack to the Future Super Bowl, number 1, they will get to be the first team to win, as their counterparts did. And I was hoping that wouldn't happen until the 85 season. Number 2, in Sack to the Future history, the Cowboys will have 2 Super Bowls, which will match the Bears. So, actually, the Oilers have also won 1. So either way, the Cowboys are trying to be the first Sack to the Future team to win the Super Bowl in the year that their real-life counterpart did. But even if they fail to do that, then the Oilers, or whoever wins the Super Bowl, will join the Bears as the most Sack to the Future Bowls with 2. So, not good news for Bears fans, I guess. But it should be a good Super Bowl. All-Texas Super Bowl, again, the most dominant team versus the most surprising / consistent team outside the Cowboys. Obviously, the Cowboys have been consistent, dominating everyone, but the Oilers have just consistently surprised. Let's put it that way. Consistent dominance versus consistent surprise. That's what the Super Bowl is going to be. Let's see how the players did. Staubach, almost perfect. 5 incompletions, 3 touchdown passes. 83%, 269 yards, amazing. Clauso, 58%, 237 yards, not bad. 1 interception, no touchdown throws. Rushing, nobody really blew out the doors off. Dan Reeves actually leading rusher with 40 yards. Thomas added 35. Jones ended up with 34, and then a couple of small amounts there. Receiving, Ditka was big time, 8 catches, 97 yards, and Grimm was huge for the Vikings, 6 catches, 107 yards. Bob Hayes, where is he? After nothing in the first half, comes up with 3 catches for 52 yards and a touchdown in the second half. And the sacks, of course, you had 2 apiece from Cole, who I kind of went unnoticed. Bob Lilly and Alan Page, the big defensive tackles, each had 2 sacks. So that'll do it. The Cowboys, as expected, win. They're on their way to the Super Bowl against the Houston Oilers. That should take place. Let's see here. We're going to try to do it, over the week before Christmas. It definitely will not happen once we get to the weekend. So we most likely will play this. I don't really know which night. We're going to try to do it before Thursday night. If that does not happen, then there may be a Christmas Day presentation of the Sack to the Future Bowl. Just unfortunately, I can't tell you for sure, but the plan is in the next couple days here to bring the Super Bowl. Thank you for watching. All Texas Super Bowl on the docket. Good luck, Oilers. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.